and welcome back everyone. My name is Carlton D'Souza and in this channel I speak about all things health. So if this is your first time and if this is what you like, do consider subscribing. The topic for today is hypertrophy. What is hypertrophy? The process of building muscles or gains is hypertrophy. Why is hypertrophy important? Well, we know that our skeletal system depends on our muscles for posture, for movement, and for general health. So in order for us to be at the optimum level that we need to be, hypertrophy is important. How does one get towards hypertrophy? Resistance training. That is the answer. If you overload your muscles from 65% to 80% of its capacity, that tends to engage your muscle and it tends to grow it bigger. I don't want to bulk up. Is hypertrophy important for me? I don't want to be a bodybuilder. Well, the bodybuilders have a complete different regime. They have a complete different process. They have different kind of nutritions that help them out in order to gain that kind of size. And most importantly, they work out at regular intervals. What I am going to ask you to do is resistance training at least twice a week. And trust me, if twice a week got you bigger, I wouldn't be able to fit in this room. Let's speak about another term. If you know hypertrophy, you need to know another term called sarcopenia. What is sarcopenia? Sarcopenia is the process of one losing muscles through inactivity or old age. Now, how does one tackle this? If you are going through this, is there any way that you can stop the muscle loss? Well, there is. Again, resistance training is the answer. It's very essential for us to engage our muscles. Now, I can be very honest with you and tell that I am not that active what I used to be back in the younger days, especially when I was a teen. When I was a teen, I was super active. The growth of a teenager is far different from a person who's in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. As you grow older, your muscles are not as responsive as a younger 18-year-old individual. Now, as we age, the response of our muscles are completely different for the ones who are in their teens. So we need to consider how are we going to work towards our resistance training that help us in our goal in order to be our optimum self. So please do not compare your results with anybody else because there are many factors that go into building muscles. And here are a few. Nutrition is one. The common myth is, yes, have proteins and you can increase muscle. Although protein are the builders of muscle, there's a process towards it. When you ingest protein, there are acids, there are enzymes that break it down and feed your cells all those proteins that help synthesize muscle. But it wouldn't be possible if you are on a high sugar diet. Remember, insulin resistance doesn't help in muscle growth. So avoid eating sugar or anything that has high sugar content in your food or excess carbs. Anything that increases your insulin is not going to help you increase your muscle. In fact, that's going to decrease your muscle. So there's a phenomenon called glyconeogenesis where your muscles are broken down and converted into sugar. That's what happens with people who have high insulin resistance. So avoid sugary items, please. And they say try not to have as many meals as possible because that's what spikes your insulin. Every time you ingest something, your blood sugar goes up. So the lesser meals you have, the better in order to work with insulin resistance. Another question, how much protein is good protein and what kind of protein should I eat? Well, in my opinion, again, I am not a dietitian or in any way qualified to give you such advice, but from the research that I have done and what I've gathered is anywhere from 80 grams to 160 grams per meal. It depends on your activity, your age, and various other factors as well, is the right kind of protein. Well, in order to solve the problem of working resistance training at home without any equipment, I'd like to encourage you to do a giant set. A giant set is 4 or more exercises done back to back without much rest. So I have a few fundamental exercises. Of course, you know my favorites. They're squats, push-ups, crunches, and glute bridges. So I'm also going to include biceps, a bicep curl. Okay, so that's what I have planned right now. I'm going to show you the demonstration if you follow me. So there you go, people. The exercises that were demonstrated were for beginners, for intermediate and advanced. Do this at your pace, and if you feel that this video has benefited you and can benefit anybody else, please do share, like and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, see you soon.